So I don't know what this is. It's Alex Jones versus a staged press conference.
Tell the American people to whom you lent $2.2 trillion of their dollars. And who got the money?
Hundreds and hundreds of banks. Any bank or that has access to the U.S. Federal Reserve's discount.
Tell us who they are.
No.
Do you think it's consistent with the spirit of that provision of the Constitution for a group like the FMOC to hand out $500 billion to foreigners without any action by this Congress?
Congress approved it in the Federal Reserve Act.
Some of the world's top central bankers are gathering in Sydney for 2 days of secret talks on the fragile global economy. Delegates from banks in Europe, Asia and the US will attend the meeting amid tight security.
I take a look at Section 1204 of the legislation you've proposed and can only describe it as TARP on steroids. When we passed the TARP bill, we limited the administration to $700 billion. Section 1204, unlimited. I have an amendment to this section saying it's limited to $1 trillion. Is the Treasury going to oppose that, or are they going to support it?
Into the HD era now.
It's important to make people understand.
I asked you a simple question. I have very limited time. Would you support it or oppose it? And then let me move on to the next question.
I would not support proposals that would put this country in the position we were in 2007 and 2008, where we did not have the ability to act to protect
the key thing then is that the executive branch have the power to commit not just $700 billion, but $1 trillion or more without having to have Congress be involved at the time of the crisis.
No, it would not be a fair description of our strategy.
There's the main character of Hitman.
I'm not going to allow anybody to set up on the blacktop. Okay, what we'll do is move into the grassy area right here. That's as close as we can get.
Gatekeepers.
What outlets are you with?
I'm with the Statesman.
Okay.
KLBJ.
KLBJ, okay.
Infowars.
Which
Infowars.com.
Infowars.com?
Yep.
I don't see you on my list.
Well, we didn't pre-register.
Yeah, you would have had to have pre-registered. Who are you guys with?
We were sent the advisory. It didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Huh? GCN, Infowars.com.
Yeah, he's with me.
Yeah, you would have had to have registered before noon.
I mean, is it going to be a big issue?
Yeah.
Really?
We are.
Yeah. Let me check the advisory, because I talked to the press secretary.
Okay, so they needed to pre-register. They didn't. And then we get that great line of like, is this going to be a big problem? Yes. Just completely matter of fact.
What were your names again?
My name's Jason Burmis.
With Infowars?
Infowars.com.
Yeah, I don't have you on my list here.
Yeah.
Infowars.com.
Infowars.com.
Okay, hey everybody. We're going to set up, for the ones that I have registered on this list, you can set up on the grassy area, but I'm going to have to verify your outlet.
They're rubbing their face, folks. They're making the media set up on a grassy knoll.
Who are you with? Yes, we got you. Thanks. How are you? Good to see you. Yeah, I got you.
Triple down on the KV. You need picture ID.
Are we going to be able to get in?
I don't have you on my list, guys.
We are American citizens and we represent. We have the
didn't know
rights.
until we didn't get sent here till afternoon.
This is a form of
and we've been out here
censorship.
for 2 hours.
Well,
Sorry, this is a form of censorship. We have the rights.
I don't want to fight with you. I just want to cover it.
Yeah, we have to cover it.
I'll
man.
have to leave you here for now and get back to you.
Thank you. I mean, we have a bigger audience in the States, man.
Are we going to know at least before the press conference?
We have a bigger audience. This
Or are
is
you
all
just
gonna
saving
go-
us up?
Your censorship is going to be broadcast.
All right, Rob. Just
No, man,
I'll get back to you.
everybody else is over there except for us, man.
Come on. I have registered media.
So are you telling me we're not going to get in now?
I'll get back to you.
Well, are you going to tell me before the actual press conference starts? It's supposed to start at 3:30. It's like 3:25.
Okay, this is cool.
Oh, come on, man.
All right, so we're clearing the street. So.
Okay, John and David, I want you guys to go up to the officer and don't register and then try to get in. And then while they're distracted, we'll have our InfoWars team that was invited in to take part in it.
Actually, since you guys are not on his list, all right, what we're going to do is put you over into a public viewing area where the general public is allowed to gather.
That what we're seeing,
So
they
how
are
far is that gonna
literally
be? That's
6
gonna be,
feet away from
over
the
there
other
where those cones
reporters.
are. Apparently, you are not on his list.
It's because we didn't hear about it
Look
until
at that
after
cool
12
guy in the
o'clock.
background.
I
We
can't
waited
have
out for 2 hours to get stonewalled.
Albert Einstein.
I mean, come on, we have an audience of millions of people
I understand.
nationally.
We have the right to cover this
I
event.
know, man.
I know you do, and we're not telling you you don't have the right to cover
Well,
the
by
event.
putting it over there, you're kind of angling our right.
What we're doing is we are making a general public viewing area. Since this is an invited thing, these people were invited to attend the press conference or whatever it is we want to call it.
Isn't this a public official?
Okay, that's important to me. And again, he's just the dude that's speaking. But first, he's saying that on the downside, right, is that he's saying that this was an invite only. Yet he asked them if they registered. Why would you register? Or maybe they just check you off the invite list or whatever. But beyond that, if it's invite only, we already know that the InfoWars people are in there. So what is the, other than the obvious, like, let's make content, what's the point of this? There's a public viewing area over to the side. Like, again, from a purely entertainment standard, I think this is great. But from, like, if you were to watch this and really get mad and really feel like Alex Jones and InfoWars were being censored here, is ridiculous. They're at the event. It's being broadcast publicly. They're able to see and hear and film everything that they could film. They're just on the wrong side of the VIP thing because there's already an InfoWars team inside.
He's a public
Like,
official,
what the
but
hell?
it's a private event.
We're members of the public.
It's a private event, though. Public will be allowed over there. That's all I can tell you guys. I apologize. I'm not trying to push you around.
Okay.
I'm not trying to convenience you, but that's the way it's going to be for everyone's safety, okay?
Okay.
I am irate.
Is that Al Roker over the
Yeah,
side?
we're gonna have to.
Inside the grass, all you guys back up a foot or two, and then you can have people lean out in front, and you have the same distance on your other two.
Hey, Greg. That's how they do a sweep of the equipment.
Greg.
It's walk up to you. I'm just wondering. Walk up to you. Walk up to you. Walk up to you.
They're conducting all of these secret discussions on camera. I'm irate too.
Stand right here, background noise is not great. The commissioner is going to make some brief remarks, then Mr. Secretary, and then we'll take just a couple of questions.
Doug Schulman, Commissioner of the IRS. Secretary Geithner and I came today to mourn the loss of one of our colleagues.
Bring a bull.
Honor our colleagues who survived through the plane crash. The men and women of the IRS serve their country every day with pride, raising the money it takes to fund our schools and our military and our national defense. I'm incredibly proud of them. I want to thank the first responders who came to the scene from Austin. I want to thank all the people from across the country who gave their well wishes to the agency in regard to this senseless act. And the people of the IRS are incredibly strong. They're going to continue to serve their country and the nation's taxpayers with dignity and respect.
The real cost of the bailout is $23 trillion.
Hold on, just a second. I just want to say, too, join the commissioner in saying how proud we are of the men and women of the IRS working to serve their country. We came to show them our respect and support.
I've got one that can see.
We just spent an hour with the men and women who worked in that building, listening to them talk about their colleague who died. What a great leader, inspirational leader he was.
Okay, I don't know the issue here, but clearly someone, and because they said it was a senseless act, so they're at a press conference about IRS, someone from the IRS dying, and they're asking about the bailout. And they're wondering why they're getting a frosty reception. Like, more power to them. Yell the questions. Freedom of speech, freedom of the press. But don't be surprised if you get the cold shoulder and this dude death stares you when one of his coworkers died. And you're there asking about the fucking bailout.
We listened to the stories they told about evacuating this building in 3 minutes. All the lives they saved by working together to help their colleagues get out of there as quickly as possible. And we heard them talk about their great pride in working for...
Okay, yeah, like, if this is a workplace shooting situation, this is definitely shines even more of a light on the Sandy Hook issue, because here you have them saying staged press conference when all they're doing is having a press conference that somebody died. So if this is a workplace shooting incident, then that's like, come on. That's even like, just factoring it, it's just so gross. Like,
the IRS and helping
this
the
isn't
country
about
do what
paying
the country needs to
taxes
do.
or bailouts.
I was able to
or
read to them a
whatever.
letter from the president, which the White House is putting out. They haven't put it out already. A letter of support and concern from the President of the United States. And I just want to say how proud I am to have spent some time with them today, listening to them.
Boy,
what a great
look
job
at that
they're
guy,
doing.
man.
And I think all Americans owe them their support and their encouragement at this time of tragedy.
Sir, did you meet with the Hunter family?
We did. We both met with with Valerie Hunter today. You know, they both work together as IRS agents. They met.
I'll try to
I think,
pull up some
18 years
context
ago,
real quick.
working together in the IRS, and just a terrible tragedy thing for her and her family and her friends.
Sir, the real cost of the bailout is
What do you
$23
think
trillion.
when you look at this building, the damage that was done?
You know, I think everyone has different emotions about this. People are angry that this happened. People are sad to lose a colleague.
Okay,
but
here we
mostly,
go.
I think people have great resolve that they serve this.
Okay, give me just a second here. Valerie Hunter had just stepped off the elevator at the Northwest Austin building where she and her husband have worked for years. She heard a loud explosion and felt a violent shake. She bolted toward the nearest exit with coworkers and started searching for her husband Vernon, family and friends said. As minutes ticked away Thursday morning, she figured he was helping others escape. After all, she reasoned, he was a volunteer safety coordinator for his floor. But after 2 days of helpless waiting, family members received confirmation Saturday that Hunter, 68, who was an Internal Revenue Service employee for more than 2 decades, was killed when a pilot identified as Andrew Joseph Stack flew his single-engine plane into the building which houses IRS offices. Stack died in the inferno. So this guy flew a plane into the IRS building. He left a note that said that he was taking his pound of flesh so that he could sleep well after the IRS had caused... He was blaming the IRS for all of his problems in life. His son, Hunter's son, the guy who died, he said, "My dad in that building, he didn't write the tax laws. If he would have talked to my dad would have helped him." Yeah, I mean, that's pretty crazy. So a guy flies a plane into a building because he hates taxes. Alex Jones goes to the press conference about his death and asks questions about the bailout and then wonders why they might be burning a hole through him with these stairs. Like, when you say it's a staged press conference, it sends a pretty clear message, right? That you think that they're hiding something or they're whatever. It's just really odd. I mean, what are they going to tell you about the bailout here, even if they did answer you?
Country every day. They do hard work on behalf of the American citizens, and an act like this won't get in the way of us doing our job with dignity and respect for every American.
Have you heard about other threats against the IRS?
There's an ongoing investigation. so I'm not going to comment on anything.
Can you comment on
Thanks
the
very
real
much,
cost
guys.
of the bailout, please?
What is the full
23
cost of the
trillion.
bailout?
They're not reporting the real number.
Thanks very much, guys.
Can you say why
Take care.
Treasury's blocking that information? Bloomberg News.
Did you use software to prepare your 2001 and 2002 tax returns?
I'll answer that question, sir, but I want to say these are my responsibility, not the tax software responsibility. But I use TurboTax to prepare my returns.
Okay.
In 2001, I left the Treasury Department. I went to work for the Council on Foreign Relations temporarily, and then ultimately went to the IMF that year. That year, I had several sources of income. And I believed mistakenly that I was supposed to file as an IMF employee, as I would normally file taxes as an employee, generally. Looking back, it was very clear. But when I made that initial mistake, and I failed to correct it initially, I repeated it over the times I had income from the IMF, even in those years where a tax preparer prepared my returns. These were careless mistakes. They were avoidable mistakes, but they...
Well, that staged press conference. What a revelation. Wow.